Okay, so we'd like to thank you for developing this connection with us. As we know, setting forward the different modalities that you were working on currently with writing and with verbal channeling. These two modalities will allow you to deeper connect with us, to feel the difference in the human body, how we come forward and share information with you. We know as you continue to grow in these capabilities and fine-tune them, that you will have a better understanding of who's moved forward and who is waiting to chat, and the different forms and fashions that energies, spirit bodies, those who are in the non-physical can come forward and give guidance, give insight. And as we've mentioned in the past, and this is mainly for listeners in the future, to have proper discernment between that of which is here for your highest and greatest good and that of which is not. But we will teach this in future classes and future transmissions, in future get-togethers, so that way we can bring clarity to this topic. As many different modalities that is on Earth share different techniques or traditions or teachings on what is here to serve you and to serve God and what is not. With that, we would like to understand for the vessel and those that are listening that as these now moments progress and changes keep coming forward, the very understanding of which is here for your highest and greatest good, or in alignment with God, or which is able to be serving to you and to God, will become ever more present. The veil has been gently lifting at a rapid pace for each and every one of you, and many of you will have had the understanding of what this means. Do not worry, as though it may seem the very understanding of which this reality has presented is being shaken or crumbling or being uplifted to show that instead of it being a flat wall, there's many sides. And so your understanding, your perspective, your awareness, your capabilities to adapt to these changes will all come in its own time. As the vessel is coming through the understanding by experiencing that of which the vessel fears, he's able to see where this fear stems from and understand that the majority of it was gifted to the vessel and not formulated from the vessel. And we would like to state that there is a very big difference between the two. When something is gifted to you, it is given. And as many of us have experienced, some gifts are not always coming from the best intention. And so we can take these gifts and understand the lessons that we can glean from them. But that is to understand that they are not your own. And so you can lift them and send them back to where they belong. Now that does not mean to return to sender. This is a common misunderstanding on the human perspective. And so we state, return to where it belongs. And that is back with Source, back with God, back with all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. So send it back to Source. And this, as an individual, doing this will allow the collective to also uproot the gifts that were given that are no longer serving. Now, having it being formulated from oneself, the vessel at a young age was hurt, right? Was hurt, and the vessel has a hard time sharing this, but it will come in the understanding of helping others and helping the vessel. And thus this is allowing for the greater good to come to an understanding of some of these fears. And so in the experience as a young boy, this vessel was hurt, and it was happening to the vessel. And he has come to the understanding that hurt begets only more hurt. And so even though this was gifted to the vessel and to the individual that was hurting the vessel, he understands that some of these hurts are deeply rooted because it was experienced through the vessel. And so he has come to that understanding, and he has taken that opportunity for the lineage of this vessel's bloodline. Many generations have hurt and then hurted. All of this is which happens in the understanding, in the deeper meaning of why this has happened and what we can glean from it. And the vessel has decided that the hurt stops with him. And so he takes these fears that have happened, that have been experienced, and says, no more. Return to Source. Return to God. This is no longer an opportunity for anyone to learn any longer. And so he sends to Source, sends to God, the very hurt that has been gifted from generation to generation. And we understand and feel, some of you do not like this terminology. Use whatever word helps you to the highest and greatest good. But the vessel on a soul level understands that these are gifts to help better understand the vessel and understand that of which he is not, so he can remember that of which he is. And so we state at this time to grasp the capabilities between these two in regards to a gift that was passed down, whether it be verbally or through conditioning that is being modeled by watching, right? Little kids model after their parents as they see how their parents are and they attach that meaning to themselves. Or to have the understanding that what you have experienced, just like the vessel mentioned, from the individual that hurt the vessel to the vessel's understanding of the hurt that was inside it, the fear that was instilled at that young age from that experience, right? And to better understand this, right, we could state a person is in the wild and a wild coyote attacks the vessel or the individual. And so you have an experience that your mind has labeled as fearful. And so we state that, understand where that fear stems from and release it. Send it back to Source. And with that, you will be able to process, to receive, to allow, to experience, excuse me, the very nature of all that is, of all that would like to come forward and guide you. When you remove these fears, it is as if you are wearing glasses that are blacked out or very, very foggy. And so all that you see is just this physical experience. But as you lift these fears, the glasses become clearer and clearer. And so then you see the whole picture. That is all we would like to share on this topic at this time. All those that are here for my highest and greatest good, I ask, what is the exercise technique that Darius Wright uses to help him stay in shape with minimal reduction in energy output? We would share with you at this time that the exercise techniques of today's time, although many stem from the understanding of what has given them results, are generally coming from the understanding of the human perspective. And so each and every individual who is an avid exerciser utilizes either what they have been taught or what worked for them through experience. And each individual is uniquely different, as the collective of humanity does stem from many different biological differences, DNA differences. And so your body will adapt differently based on the environmental inputs that are expressed. And so we would take the time to inwardly reflect and ask for guidance. What is the best way for me to have a balanced exercise routine that allows me to be in peak performance with minimal energy reduction? As the vessel is understood and experienced, and also as many have received in their exercise journeys, that pushing the body to breaking points, yes, for short term, allows the body to adapt very quickly. As the body is a technology through the prism of the physical experience that has been designed to adapt quickly. It is part of why the human collective as a whole has thrived for as long as it has. But with that understanding, come to the conclusion that just like any vehicle, any technology, any thing that is out of balance does have a breaking point in which it seeks, as a parameter of the very physical nature that is Earth, that is humanity, that a part of the coding, if you will, a part of the very laws of nature. To seek balance is always a requisite, or is required. So when you push the body, when you push a technology, when you push anything that is of the physical world past its limits, it either one forces itself back into balance, or it returns to source. So we state at this time, as the vessel itself is curious as to what would be the best way to be in balance and receive exercise. We state many of you will be called to move your body. The vessel itself has received many messages to do so. And so, with this, some of you may turn to dance. Some of you may turn to traditional methods of modern times, of this now moment, that is, of utilizing a gym. Some of you may feel called to walk through nature. Whatever avenues that are being called to you, utilize this and understand that it is a whole perspective. To move the body, to fuel the body, to heal the body, to allow time for balance. This is a whole perspective. And so take this with a sense of joy and a sense of gratitude for the physical body, and understanding that the very nature of the soul fuels the body as well. And so there's many layers, many dimensions, many facets of which the very nature of you are coincides. So take time to reflect, ask for guidance, and listen to what you receive and put that into action, into physical action. At this time, this is all we would like to share, and we thank you for connecting.